So today we're going to be talking about the truth behind organic food. So what does organic mean? The word organic means many different things to many different people, but according to the authors of the Environmental Health Journal, organic products are made or grown in land with non-harmful soils, a clean ecosystem, and no toxic pesticides for bug control or freshness. There are many different health claims to organic foods. Some of them are consumers who regularly buy organic foods tend to choose more vegetables and fruits and tend to have an overall healthier dietary pattern. Organic foods can decrease the risk of cardiovascular disease, diabetes, allergic skin diseases, eczema, and more. And also, organic varieties do provide greater levels of vitamin C, iron, magnesium, and phosphorus. So where it all started. Planting crops and farming has been around for hundreds of years. It's nothing new. But as people have started to realize what is healthy and what is good for their bodies, the organic food needs have increased. And this leads to the increase for rules and regulations by the government and USDA. So for farming, chemical and toxin-free farming must be obtained for 3 years before being declared organic. And for meat and dairy products, animals that have diseases or get sick must be treated less than 3 times in a year to be considered organic. Farmers who do grow organic products use natural fertilizers, are in a clean environment, and use no harmful chemicals or pesticides. There is less cadmium in the soils of organic products compared to conventional foods, and we'll talk about that later on. And the natural ways that farmers protect their crops for organics besides pesticides is crop rotation, intercropping, natural enemies, which would be pesticides that aren't harmful, and then hygiene and care for the crops. So one of the ideas towards consuming these organic products is the idea of less pesticides and less harmful chemicals that these products are exposed to. These chemicals do so much more harm than good to our bodies, especially when it comes to the brain and cardiovascular disease. There are many different pesticides, and there are a few that are approved for organic products. Out of the 385 different pesticides that farmers use, only 26 are approved for organic products. These are approved because the nutrients contained in these chemicals are already naturally made in our bodies, so it wouldn't cause any harm if we consume them. Even though pesticides are prohibited in organic product farming, there are traces of toxins on these fruits and vegetables because of natural occurring issues, such as weather or contaminated soil that they may not know about, or exposure from other surrounding farms, such as wind blowing in the particles from other harmful chemicals. But only 2.6% of these organic foods have traces of other pesticides, unlike conventional foods that have 26% of more of the multiple pesticide contamination. So these are a few examples of what products have less toxic exposure and which ones have more toxic exposure. So there are multiple studies over this. This one done by Walter Crinan. He found results of fruits and vegetables and how exposed they are to these chemicals. So for fruits, conventional products are 82% exposed and organic are 23% exposed. And in vegetables, conventional is 65% exposed and organics are 23% exposed. So overall, conventional foods are more highly exposed than organics. Here are a few more examples from least to greatest of pesticide exposure. So when it comes to disease, studies have shown that eating organic fruits and vegetables has decreased the risk of diseases such as hypertension, diabetes, obesity, reducing BMI and mortality rates, and allergy and atopic dermatitis, which would be considered eczema. Also, the Environmental Health Journal authors conducted a research over conventional food products and pregnant women. So when the pregnant women consumed conventional foods, they were putting their children at higher risk of abnormalities. These included abnormal reflexes, adverse mental development, attention problems, poor intellectual development. So overall, these chemicals are harming our children's brains as well as our brains as adults. Nutrients. So all fruits and vegetables grown on farms have many vitamins and minerals. But when it comes to organic versus conventional, the organic foods are going to have more of these vitamins and minerals, such as vitamin C, iron, phosphorus, and magnesium. The conventional foods will have a decreased containment of these vitamin C, phosphorus, iron, calcium, and riboflavin due to the contamination of the chemicals being absorbed. So Dr. Crinan wrote about 2 different studies about how exposed these products are and how much more vitamins they actually contain. So Dr. Laron showed that 21% increase in iron and 29% increase in magnesium were in organic products compared to conventional. And Dr. Worthington showed there was a 27% increase in ascorbic acid and an additional 13.6% increase in phosphorus in those organics compared to conventional. So phytonutrients. So all plant, fruits, and vegetables have phytonutrients, which are antioxidants. So these increase as well when there's less exposure to these chemicals, such as carotenoids, which reduce the risk of cancer, flavonoids, which are an antioxidant to reduce the risk of cancer and other diseases, polyphenols, which improve digestion, weight management, and diabetes, and anthocyanin, which improves neural and cognitive brain function. So back to cadmium. Cadmium is a chemical found in synthetic pesticides and in the soils of conventional foods. So when farmers add additional cadmium, it increases the risk of absorption into these fruits and vegetables that we consume. And when we consume this, it's really dangerous for our kidneys, and it over time makes our bodies and bones brittle. So organic soils are packed full of those nutrients and vitamins. So when that happens, the cadmium has a harder time mixing in with that soil because there's not as much wiggle room. So a study was done by Miss Spangler and then another by Bransky to determine how much cadmium was in organic versus conventional soils. So Spangler found no difference, but Bransky found there was 48% more cadmium. Because of the 2 different results, they did another test and came up with another result that showed there really is 30% more cadmium in conventional soils. For omega-3s, these vitamins are found in meats, eggs, and milk. So animals confined in small spaces won't produce as much omega-3, but those who aren't confined in small spaces and are free range aren't as stressed and aren't as anxious, so their bodies are going to produce better vitamins and minerals, especially those omega-3s. And omega-3s for us are essential for our heart health, our skin health, and it decreases high blood pressure. So when it comes to brands, when consumers see the word organic on a product or package, they have expectations about what's inside that package. And these products have to follow the rules and regulations of the USDA. So there are only 3 brands labels. So 100% organic, and made with organic. If there's another sticker or label that says something similar, it probably isn't organic because it isn't made under the rules and regulations by the USDA. For restrictions, there really isn't any. It would just be best to stay away from conventional foods. That doesn't mean to stop eating fruits and vegetables. It just means to go to find more organic foods that have less harmful toxins that you are consuming. So overall, organic foods provide healthier and cleaner eating products. The farmlands that these organic foods are produced on have organic soils, natural environments, and non-toxic pesticides. And these organic foods will have greater vitamins and minerals. They will have decrease the risk of disease. These are my references and photo references.